Hello, welcome to Life Quotes, channel where you find quotes from interesting people. An iPod, a phone, an internet mobile communicator. These are not three separate devices, and we are calling it iPhone. Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone, and here it is. Technology is nothing. What's important is that you have a faith in people, that they're basically good and smart, and if you give them tools, they'll do wonderful things with them. A lot of people in our industry haven't had very diverse experiences, so they don't have enough dots to connect, and they end up with very linear solutions without a broad perspective on the problem. The broader one's understanding of the human experience, the better design we will have. I think money is a wonderful thing because it enables you to do things. It enables you to invest in ideas that don't have a short-term payback. Our DNA is as a consumer company, for that individual customer who's voting thumbs up or thumbs down. That's who we think about, and we think that our job is to take responsibility for the complete user experience. And if it's not up to par, it's our fault, plain and simply. I'm an optimist in the sense that I believe humans are noble and honorable, and some of them are really smart. I have a very optimistic view of individuals. Most people have no concept of how an automatic transmission works, yet they know how to drive a car. You don't have to study physics to understand the laws of motion to drive a car. You don't have to understand any of this stuff to use Macintosh. My biological mother later found out that my mother had never graduated from college and that my father had never graduated from high school. She refused to sign the final adoption papers. She only relented a few months later when my parents promised that I would someday go to college. I'm sorry, it's true. Having children really changes your view on these things. We're born, we live for a brief instant, and we die. It's been happening for a long time. Technology is not changing it much, if at all. My model for business is the Beatles. They were four guys that kept each other's negative tendencies in check. They balanced each other, and the total was greater than the sum of the parts. And no, we don't know where it will lead. We just know there's something much bigger than any of us here. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life. Stay hungry. Stay foolish. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. Sometimes life is going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. Design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. I want to put a ding in the universe. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people. We don't get a chance to do that many things, and everyone should be really excellent, because this is our life. I'm convinced that about half of what separates the successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful ones is pure perseverance. I think if you do something and it turns out pretty good, then you should go do something else wonderful, not dwell on it for too long. Just figure out what's next. It's more fun to be a pirate than to join the Navy. The most precious thing that we all have with us is time. Quality is more important than quantity. One home run is much better than 2 doubles. Sometimes when you innovate, you make mistakes. It is best to admit them quickly and get on with improving your other innovations. Being the richest man in the cemetery doesn't matter to me. Going to bed at night saying we've done something wonderful, that's what matters to me. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You've got to start with the customer experience and work back toward the technology, not the other way around. My favorite things in life don't cost any money. It's really clear that the most precious resource we all have is time. I think the things you regret most in life are the things you didn't do. Being powerful is like being a lady. If you have to tell people you are, you aren't. I want to make a dent in the universe. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Details matter. It's worth waiting to get it right. The journey is the reward. Your work is a reflection of who you are. How you carry yourself is reflected in your work. You can't get rid of the fear, but you can get used to it. It's not the tools that you have faith in. Tools are just tools. They work or they don't work. It's people you have faith in or not. I'm as proud of what we don't do as I am of what we do. If you are working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. We hire people who want to make the best things in the world. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. Stay foolish to stay hungry. Stay hungry to stay foolish. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. I think if you do something, and it turns out pretty good, then you should go do something else wonderful, not dwell on it for too long. Just figure out what's next. Be a yardstick of quality. Some people aren't used to an environment where excellence is expected.